So we got some brand new glasses to talk about, guys. Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thomas Love here from beautiful Vancouver, British Columbia. And today we're gonna talk about all these brand new glasses that are coming here and there every new day, every single day. We got new glasses to be announced from the minor leagues as well, from the big brands such as Nikon and Canon and Sony. And so we had plenty of announcements that make me thrilled because despite these glasses are not the focal length I would use for street photography, well, this is meaning that finally those companies are getting back to working on new product development, which is a mechanical, optical innovation compared to what we were used to, because for the last decade we only had technology advancements, more megapixel, AF tracking, IBIS, so on and so forth. But what I used to say is that the glasses make the difference, not really the camera. Camera in 2023, you can take anyone and will be good, more than enough, but the glasses really make the difference. And so after we got the Nikon Plena released a few weeks ago, it's 135mm and it's plenty because it doesn't have vignetting, it doesn't have barrel distortion, no color fringing whatsoever. Finally, we had also new news from Canon, meaning that, guys, it's not only Sony that is working on innovation. Nikon finally is starting getting back in the game, and Nikon with this new R-mount, it's a bit puzzling to my mind because I saw this last trio that they announced. One is a super crappy 10-18mm. It's not so fast whatsoever, it's super cheap but also super lightweight, like 150 grams. And so that would be a good match for the full-frame cameras, assuming you want to use the wide glass like 10-18. That would be super good for vlogging, but it's not fast enough. So with f4.5 to 6.3, you wouldn't have that much separation from the background unless you are very, very close to the glass and then the background is very, very far away, and the compression is helping you a bit, but otherwise that would not be good even for vlogging. So I don't know, guys, that might be a good all-rounder. I'm eager to find it out and to try it, but for now I'm not impressed by this release. Different thing is when we move to the middle one that they released, they actually were the very first camera brands working on a 24-105 f2.8. Now, this glass, they said it's good for both stills and videos. I do see it why for video, because they have eventually the add-on, the motorized focus ring that you can manage remotely. So this is a super big and chunky and heavy glass. We are talking about 1300 grams and we're talking about more than $3.5K Canadian, of course. So it's a big and heavy and expensive glass, but it might be a very good all-rounder. Now, just to compare to it, the all-rounder that we are used to as Nikon shooters, it's the 24-120 f4. So it's steady at f4. It's not so fast, but it's a constant max f aperture throughout the whole range, 24-120. And just to compare, it's the half of the weight because it's 650 grams and 1/3 of the price with its 1300 Canadian, if I'm not wrong. And so that's a good all-arounder in my humble opinion, while the Canon one, it might be the very first of its species, but guys, it's a lot of weight and a lot of money and a big size. Just to compare the dimension of that glass, the 24-105 Canon f2.8 is as big as a regular 70-200, which is like the biggest piece of glass that we all would get. So in your bag, if you have a 28-70 or 24-70 and 70-200, you are more than covered, but then you might need another fast glass like a 50mm f1.4 or a 35mm f1.4. But apart from that, guys, 70-200, it's the glass that you would get, but not always in your backpack when you're going out. So you have it because you might need it, but it's big and heavy, and so you take it with you only when you know that you will need it. While this 24-105, it's supposed to be stuck on your camera and you're not supposed to change it whatsoever, because basically it's wide enough and it's enough reach for you to use it as an all-rounder. Nonetheless, it's big and heavy and expensive, and so I'm quite sure that only a few of you guys are considering it, maybe for specific use, but I don't see it replacing the steady f4 anytime soon. And then the third release from Canon was this 200-800 that might get a few ones excited for wildlife. It's a lot of reach. I am not sure you can pair it with any teleconverter, but 200-800, it's already a lot of reach. The only thing that I wouldn't like that much for that glass is that it's extending, and so internal zooming for me, it's always a go-to glass, because you know how much the dimension and the weight it is. And then if you mount it on a tripod and then eventually you are zooming in and it extends, then a lot of weight goes even farther and it might have the camera fall off. And so I prefer to go with the internal zoom glasses, but this is really a lot of reach. Now, I don't know how it compares in terms of price to other glasses like the 180-600 that Nikon already released, or the 200-600 that Sony has for a while, but this 200-800, I do understand it might make a few of you very excited about it. So please let me know down here in the comments if you are planning on getting any one of these new Canon Trio or the Nikon Plena, or what is your next step in terms of glasses. But let me share with you a bit of excitement, because we are finally back into the game. We are finally talking about photography like we used to when I started shooting. It was always new technology, not so much new optical, new mechanical advancements, and finally this is about the time for mirrorless cameras. It is starting again. So with that, I hope you got some value out of this video. If you did, please remember to like it, share it on social media, subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any videos to come, and I guess I will see you later. Thank you. Bye bye.